everybody, it's Marie from Pear Tree Paper Crafts. Welcome back to my channel. I'm back today with a 12x12 process video for you for Lottie Loves Papers. So very quickly I'll just tell you this does count as an advertisement. And today I am using the Field Trip collection by Shimelle. I think this is now my 5th layout with the collection, and I'm having so much fun playing with this one. This layout is also inspired by a layout that Laura Rumble did using the same collection when she first got the Field Trip collection, and she used some of these strips in a similar way. I'm using them in a slightly different way, but this kind of idea was inspired by her, so thank you to Laura. Today I am scrapping a picture of my little boy when he was little, younger than he is now, and when he had some of these Happy Land aliens, and there's aliens and robots and alien dogs and all sorts there, and he used to love to sit and sort of line everything up, and he was intrigued by them and liked to kind of put them all in a row. So that's where this layout has come from, which is why I'm using the strips of paper in rows, why I'm using some of these arrows, and where the eventual title comes from. So I'm just using a piece of white cardstock as the background, and then, like I say, I've taken that stripy paper, cut it into strips. So I've got longer pieces at the left and short pieces at the right. They're going to line up eventually, and then I am just sort of fussy cutting around some of these arrows because I want to put them down either side of the photograph. I did start trying to do this with a pair of scissors, and it didn't work, so I've ended up going to my craft knife because it was kind of bending over all the corners and making it look a bit tatty, which I didn't want. So just quickly sort of cutting those out. I'm not quite sure which bits of those I'm going to use yet. So the first thing I do here is just pop the photograph onto some white cardstock, make it stand out a little bit. I haven't cut that down, I don't think. I think I've left it as a 6x4. I've been scrapping with much smaller pictures recently, but I decided for this one, because there was only one photograph going on, and I thought if you cut any of it off, you're going to miss some of the idea of what's going on. So I'm just using some of that triangular paper there to pop a couple of corners on, and then I and ah for a while about how to do this, but I decided to just put a strip of arrows down each side of the photograph. That one's going down that left hand side there, when I eventually decide how big it's going to be. And then I pop the other one down the other side, and on the paper there's 2 different strips of arrows, so I've used the 2 different colours of arrows. So there's like green, blue and pink on the right there, and then there's red, green and a turquoise colour on the left, just to give a bit of interest and different colours. Now I'm going to use my cutting mat, my purple cutting mat there, to help me line these strips of paper up, so that hopefully they end up being straight, and hopefully they end up with the same sort of gap in between each one as well. I was going to do them straight, and then I decided to do them kind of coming in and out a little bit, which I quite liked. I have removed the pink one. As much as I don't mind using pink on a layout, I couldn't fit them all on because I did want those white gaps between them. And there's nothing really pink in the photograph, so I didn't really want to highlight that pink colour, so that one has been taken out. And now I'm just going to pop the last 2 red ones on the end there. I do quite like that glue in that ATG gun, because although it's really, really sticky, I do find you can sort of peel it off and move it if you need to. So then my next job is to try, and this does take me a while to do, to line up where the other half of the other part of the colour is going to be at the other side of the page. And I think I try and use a ruler for a while, and then I think in the end I might just have done it by eye, because it was just taking me so long to try and figure out. They're the same size, so I just thought, right, leave same size gaps and I'm sure it'll be fine. And it does work out. So just sticking those all on, using a little bit of that glue, double-sided tape, sorry. And sticking it on so that I'm happy. kind of using my ruler, kind of using my eye. It works in the end. And I really do like the effect that that gives. And the last 2 green ones to go in. I've tried to mirror the indentations of each of the pieces of cardstock on either side as well, so that it matches up. It's not exact, but I like it. So then all I do is just take my scissors and quickly cut off the excess. A little bit later on, I think I take it over to the guillotine as well and just make sure that I've taken off the right amount and it's all perfectly straight. But that's how it looks, and I think that gives a really good effect on the page, and that photograph sits perfectly in the middle, especially with those arrows going from side to side. And then I just decided to do some tone-on-tone embellishments. These little characters, that little robot there, and those little kind of alien guns are from the one of the 12 by 12 sheets that I've cut apart and fussy cut lots of the pieces on all different layouts that I've done. I think the whole of that sheet has been sort of cut up and put on different layouts. I haven't used it as a whole. So now I'm just deciding where I'm going to position my photograph. Pop in that little robot. And then I do just choose some of the other embellishments from the ephemera pack that are just colourful and sort of fit with the layout. They don't necessarily fit the theme, but they fit with the colourful nature of it. So I'm really happy with how they fit together. So I've gone with the title here, Get Your Aliens in a Row. And I do have a little bit of a problem because I know that I haven't got enough letters in the 2 sets to be able to do this. And I also do play about a little bit with where this title is going to go and how it's all going to fit on the page. It starts there and then it just doesn't feel quite right. So then I have a little play moving it around. That still doesn't feel quite right. So then I move that colour disc out of the way and then decide to put an extra word in of all. And then I have a look to see if I can, because the title's feeling a little bit red. So then I had a look and I did work out that I did have enough letters in the blue to just pick out that word aliens. So that one stands out against all the others. And then I decide to move all the words down so that they're all going down the side of the photograph in their own kind of rows. So it fits then with the theme of the page, and I'm much happier with where that title sits there. I think that just works perfect, and I'm really happy with the way that's sitting. So they're going there. I'm now just going to use some more bits of glue and stick together my other bits of embellishments. I'm actually going to put this down now, and it's going to be on the layout, and stick it down. And there it goes. And then I'm going to get some wet glue. Press those letters down, wet glue, and start sticking down the little pieces of embellishments that I want to put in various different places, those little robots and little guns. We don't play with guns very often in our house. It's not something my son's had, but the tone-on-tone embellishments work perfectly, and I think a couple of those little aliens in the picture have got like toy ray gun things, so it just fit nicely. Pick a few of those words out from the sticker sheet to pop on. I do actually cut them up because that one says be cool, but I wanted it on 2 separate lines. Again, I've gone tone on tone. So I'm just trimming the edges off now to make sure it's absolutely straight. And then I think I do pop a few more pieces of ephemera on the layout. So just while I'm doing that, I will say thank you for watching today. Thank you for stopping by my channel. I hope you've enjoyed this layout, and I hope you've enjoyed this collection. It is so much fun. And I hope this has inspired you to have a go maybe with this collection and try something perhaps a little bit more colourful. I tend to be quite a monochromatic scrapbooker, so I've really enjoyed this collection because it's pushed me out of my comfort zone a little bit and made me be a lot more colourful. And I've had so much fun with it, and I hope you too do. And I'll see you again next time. Bye for now.